Good morning and welcome. Welcome to our second day at South Summit 2016. My name is Helena, and I'll be your MC on this stage, the innovation stage this morning. Were you here yesterday? Did you come yesterday? Yes, you were? Did you like it? Did you have fun? Yes? Well, if you did, get ready, because today we have prepared a super killer program on this stage. So, I warn you, the innovation stage is on fire! So, I'm going to officially present from here our first speaker of the day. He is the Head of Projects Coordination at RTV's Innovation Center. And throughout his professional career, he has worked as an international sports producer coordinator in the sports department of Spanish TV, TVE, amongst other things, and was first prize winner on the FITUR 2004 contest of touristic innovation with his own startup. Well, he and his team are responsible for the first Spanish initiative of its kind to promote entrepreneurship and innovation within the media sector. It is called Impulsa Visión, and to tell us how they breed the next generation of media startups, please give a warm welcome to Oscar Baza. Welcome, Oscar.
Good morning to all. Thank you very much, Helena, for such an energetic introduction. You do it much better than me. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for being here at this roundtable called Breathing the Next Generation of Media Startups. As Helena said, I worked on a management unit of the Innovation Center of RTV, which is a department responsible for Impulsa Visión. I would like to show you a video of how we started this adventure last year.
It's coming. It's coming.
Great.
There you go.
¿Tienes un proyecto innovador y tu sector es el audiovisual? Nosotros te damos la oportunidad de ponerlo en marcha a través de Impulsa Visión, la aceleradora de startups de RTV. Una iniciativa de apoyo al emprendimiento dirigida a autónomos y a micropymes de reciente creación con ideas prácticas e innovadoras. Aquí encontrarás las respuestas a todas las preguntas que debes hacerte para formar parte de Impulsa Visión RTV. Cómo y cuándo inscribirte, qué tipo de proyecto buscamos y, lo más importante, qué te puede aportar Radio Televisión Española con su respaldo y sus casi 60 años de experiencia. Si resultas seleccionado, recibirás financiación, espacio y recursos de trabajo, formación y apoyo para acelerar y promocionar tu empresa. El plazo para inscribirte y presentar el proyecto empieza el 19 de octubre y finaliza el 22 de noviembre de 2015. ¿A qué esperas para impulsar tu proyecto?
Well, my apologies to those who don't understand Spanish. This is the video we used to launch the first call this last year, and it was meant for the Spanish market, so that's the reason. But it mainly resumes what is Impulsa Visión, who is it directed to, and what are we looking for, and what do we offer to startups, which is a little bit what I'm going to tell you about right now. Okay. Impulsa Visión, it's an initiative directed to entrepreneurship and to innovation, mainly. And it's aimed to support projects that develop and that make the industry a little better, right? In general, the industry, but it's very important to us that the projects we select, they have a practical use for RTV. It's directed to entrepreneurs, which means that one of the things we ask for is that the startups we select last year, they at least had been on the market for a year and no more than 3. And of course, it's either companies, small companies, or freelance professionals who have their own projects. And in 3 fields, we ask for projects, innovative projects in 3 fields. As an audiovisual company that we are, in audiovisual contents, and technological advances and improvements, and of course, any type of management or organizational improvement that we could apply to our company or to any other company. Of course, we're looking for those projects too. Why do we build this initiative, Impulsa Visión? Well, mainly because everything is changing rapidly, and we don't have all the knowledge, we don't have all the talent in the house, even though we're a big company. And of course, entrepreneurs, they're much flexible. They have methods that are not so rigid as the ones we have in the house. So we really need them. We need their help to build the new model and the new strategies we're looking for the future. What do we offer for startups on this project? We offer them up to 30,000 euros per project. Obviously, there is a milestone plan that they have to follow. Office spaces, I think that one of the most important things is the coaching we offer to them, because we are very lucky in this sense. We can offer them coaches that are really top directives on the industry that we have in our house. So that's one of the main things and added values that we think we have for them. Obviously, material and capital to be able to acquire services or products that they need to achieve their objectives. For the technical projects, we offer certifications that their service or their product is working and it can be applied to a large company. That opens a lot of gates for them in the future. The possibility to participate with us in future projects, for example, European projects of Horizon 2020 as partners with us. The opportunity to commercialize, depending on the startup and on the product they're accelerating with us. We could use our marketing channels to commercialize what they're doing, or our media channels to be able to promote them. And I don't think many companies can say that in the audiovisual world. Obviously, our networking and our 60 years of experience in the industry, which is this year is the 60th anniversary of TV. And now I'm going to present the real main characters, I think, of the show. I don't want to speak anymore, take any more time, because I think it's much more enriched that they tell you their life stories. So please, would you come up to the stage and join me here? It's Miguel. He's the co-founder, and Miguel and Sergio of Tell2. Andrea, she's co-founder and CEO of the Film Market Hub. Iago, he's co-founder and CEO of Videona Social Media. And we have a fourth, Raúl Barroso, which is the founder and CEO of MakeMe, but he got sick. He got some type of international virus here last night, and he's in bed. So we're going to do the show just with us. First of all, I would like to, good morning to all. Thank you very much for being here, share your experiences with us. And I would like to ask you some questions about the real experience of being an entrepreneur. What made you take the decision to be an entrepreneur and not to have a regular job, for example? Andrea, please.
Okay. Well, my name is Andrea Janone. I have an online marketplace for the film industry, and to answer your question, as a producer, because I used to be, I'm still a producer inside, But now I am the CEO of this startup. As a producer, we had a lot of problems when we try to launch a film project. It's kind of complicated to find the right producer, and it's kind of a pity because the most of idea get lost and the most great idea get lost. So when I was starting to, make my idea, I realized that we have like very mistakes, and it was very easy to fix them with the internet. So basically, that was the idea to why I create Film Market Hub.
Would you tell us a little bit about the Film Market Hub?
Yeah, sorry
what
for
your
that.
project is?
So basically, I have Film Market Hub. It's an online marketplace for scripts and film projects. So basically, we connect creativity idea, around the world with film producer companies and investment to make them real. So we have a marketplace.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Iago, what made you become an entrepreneur? And tell us a bit about your project too.
I'm Iago Fernandez, and I was working as a researcher at Technical University of Madrid, and I was doing research on video and mobile. So I decided to go to market, and university wasn't the real place to make products. It's good for make research, and we learn a lot there. But to make a real product, you need to go out and make some efforts outside the house of the university.
Thank you very much, Iago. And Miguel and Sergio, would you tell us a bit about your project and why you decided to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, well, I also come from the university from a research background. So actually, my experience is more or less the same as Iago, because when you're in university, the kind of research you do is different from the one you do on a startup environment. There, you just do research, you try to develop new things, but you don't apply them to the market or to the customer. So in the end, you don't solve problems. You just do cool stuff, which is good. This is why I stayed there for like 5 years. But you sometimes try to do something different, try to change the world in somehow, or do something that matters. So
Yes.
this is why I changed and moved to the startup stage. Yeah.
Sergio?
In my case, it must be something similar to Miguel. If you ask me why, I wouldn't be able to say why, like a reason I did this because of that. But my guess is that probably because of self-realization, you kind of want to do something that has a meaning and you feel that contributes to society. When you're working for a company, you cannot see much farther away than the work you're doing right now. You cannot see the whole picture. So probably is that, like feeling that you have a meaning on what you're doing. Yeah.
All right, man. Okay. Andrea, which do you think are the key factors when you build a startup so it becomes a successful startup?
Well, actually, we make a lot of mistakes when we create it, because the first thing that we made was the platform. We had like an idea, like the film market should be like this, and after that, we realized that there are ways to create startups. So the key factor is to first try to get near of the environment, because I am from the film industry, and I had a CTO, and we talked together and we created the platform, but we were outside of this area. So my recommendation always is to get close to the startups, because then you will learn stuff like lean startup, like validation stuff, like customer discovering, and then you realize, oh my God, I lost like 2 years. Also, I learned a lot, but you need time and money. And it will be, for me, the best recommendation is always to go to environment of startups like Impulsa.
Okay. What about you, Iago? What do you think the key factors to build a successful startup are?
Well, that's a very good question. We are still in the way to find it. we have a startup, but we are still struggling on how to build it well. So we think that the core team of our startup is good to make what we are making, that the time is now because mobile phones have evolved a lot, and I think those are the key things, but we are not sure still, so we are still working on that.
Well, you're on the way.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And what about you guys? What do you think are the key factors?
I'm not sure if I could, enumerate all the factors, but something that might sound obvious, but I think it is not, is that you also need to really believe in what you are doing. You know, if you start something, you must say, well, of course you do believe in it, but sometimes you don't when things are not easy, when you got the problems and the time is coming. You might try to think that you are not doing something meaningful, so you just, if you really believe in it, you just keep doing, and at the end of the day, you are going to be able to do it, or maybe to decide that it's not meaningful enough, but you really need to believe in it.
So,
otherwise, you're not going to make it.
Illusion, motivation, mental strength
Sure.
to go through the deep moments.
Yeah.
Being stubborn.
Sí, a lot.
Yeah. So, in my case, I don't know what about all of the startups, but I'm sure in my case, it's the team, the team,
Human resource.
maybe the idea a bit, and the funding. But with the team, the idea and the funding will come. And I say, in my experience, this is like that because I was a solo founder on my own of Tell2, and I was not being really successful. And as soon as my other two co-founders came on, we became suddenly successful. So in 2 months, the market, customers, and funding came. So I can, in our case, it was all about the team. So I think it's really, really the key.
Okay. And Andrea, tell us about the main difficulties you have encountered on your trip.
Well, we have found a lot because, but I was very lucky because I have a really great team. Don't forget that. That is a very important key thing. We had a lot of problems because the startups, I mean, for us, the film industry, I know I talk a lot of this, sorry for that, but it's not very modern. We don't have modern tools. It's very difficult to understand this because this sector moves a lot of money, but it seems that it doesn't feel like no one is interested to be innovated in this sector. So for that reason, it's very complicated to find someone that helps you. And we spent for 2 years more or less very alone, trying to do ourselves stuff, but it was very difficult for us. We felt like a little bit alone.
Yeah.
In this
So
situation.
there are many barriers to this industry on what you're doing.
Yeah, it's I don't know how to explain it, but it's more or less like that. So at the beginning, it's very complicated, and you don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You go to the traditional places like for entrepreneurs, but they don't understand very well what you're doing or your sector. They don't see it how you see it because you understand that we need a marketplace. And I think that for us, this was the most difficult thing.
Most difficult.
Yeah.
What about you, Yago?
Well,
Main difficulties.
the main difficulties. We have found lots of difficulties because we began our startup being a B2C startup, so we wanted to go to mass public, so that's very, very difficult to attract users, to get traction, and also to make your startup shine among a lot of applications in mobile markets. But once we have joined some startup ecosystem, because we are more or less a classic startup, they really understand what we do. And with Radio Televisión Española also, we made a slight pivot because we have developed our algorithms in such a way that they become more professional. So we found a right market for our startup.
Great. And Sergio? And Miguel?
Yeah, I don't know what would you say is the main difficulty we have. Probably when you're a startup, you have a main difficulty which is different every week. So you just face it. But in our case, we are a B2B startup, so probably one of the difficulty we found week over week is go to our clients, our customers, and sell them our products because it's a very very long selling process. So sometimes as I said, if you don't believe in it, it's like you kind of
Yes.
try to. Sometimes you can say, well, this is a waste of time, but in the end, it's one of the problems when you're a startup, just a small company. They see you over the shoulder. It's like, well, we are bigger than you are, so they think they have leverage. So you have to try to make it all the way around. It's like
Yeah.
change that.
And also when you're at the very, very, very beginning, like you have something, it's really hard to build the self-confidence to say, okay, I think I can turn this into a business. That's really difficult. When you have an idea, and this was a technology, I could say, okay, I can show this to my neighbor. But no, I'm going to big broadcasters and I'm going to tell them, I can sell this to you and I'm going to fix your problems with this. And
So it's like an inner fight to be able to.
yeah, and you really need to realize that you can't truly do that. Doesn't matter whether you have experience, whether you are 20 or you're 30 or 40. You can, but you just need to work a lot.
Yes. Okay. You guys think there are more chances now for startups than maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago with all this revolution, these project accelerators, and you think you have more chances now to build up a successful business than maybe
now it's
people 20
easier.
years ago?
Yeah, because we started with the idea many years, like 3 more or less, and no one know anything, like what a startup for film industry. But I think now is the moment because now more people is interested, even from our industry, is more interested to these tools. No, for example, in film market, one thing that happens is a lot of screenwriters don't feel confident for the tool because they say, no, I'm not going to put my script there. Everyone is going to steal it. So we had a few years ago we had to work a lot with the customers to try to explain it with tutorials like this is not, we protect this is actually the good thing of Film Market Hub. Now it's more easy, but every time that it goes easy you have a big challenge, so it never goes easy. So now you have more support, people is now understanding like, oh, the technology in the media industry is very important. Now we have bigger talents. So.
Okay. What about you, Yao? You think it's easier to build a company now than 10, 20 years from ago?
Well, I wasn't here 20 years ago to build companies, so it's difficult to say. But now that there are more accelerators, for sure. There are lots of news on entrepreneurship. There is more knowledge about that. That means that there's more competition. If you are building a startup or a new company, you will face more competition. There's also more helps from another places, but there is still more competition than
Than in the
before.
past times,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I
What do you
totally
think?
agree with you. This is the third startup I'm working on, and I founded my first one in 2012. And at that point, it was much difficult because you don't know how you should do the things. Right now, you have much more information. You can go to many pre-accelerators or meetups or just check on the internet. But it's, as Diego said, there is also much competition. There is more funding, but also much competition to get them funds. So, it's kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, I think more or less the same. In my case, this is my first startup, so I cannot really make a comparison. But for sure, anyway, I can totally tell that it's hard anyway. It's like many times you see a successful startup, you see they get a lot of funding, and suddenly you think, oh, they have a great idea, and that must be so easy. No, those guys for sure have talked to 200 investors and received 190 no's. So it's totally like that. Still, it's really hard. It doesn't matter whether they look successful or it doesn't matter, it's hard.
Okay. Here's a tricky one.
Uh-oh. And
Where-
I'm always the first one.
Where do you see yourselves 5, 10 years from now? In
That is
Beverly
a tricky
Hills,
one.
in Miami, in Monaco?
Sí. In Miami, no, Miami, no. It's a tricky because, I mean, as a startup in the medium, because we are like, kind of like, in my case, we are kind of the first one. So every year we have new challenge. We have the same service, but we seem that, oh my God, we can reach here. When we started, we thought, okay, we can connect Spain country with the biggest houses like television, like the public broadcast of Spain. But the next year we're like, no, see, we can connect with Netflix, for example, and this is bigger. And you every day you realize that with a very simple tool that we have, we can, connect different markets around the world in one place. So it's kind of complicated to see if we don't have competition. That is a good thing or not. But in our case, it's a very good thing.
Compete against yourselves.
Yeah,
right?
I am the only one right now. But it seems that people is starting getting like, oh, yeah, people like getting to create networking for our industry, but we are the first one. So I think in 10 years, I hope to be connecting Europa with Asia. That is one of my dreams. And connecting all the film markets for making movies in one place. That will be really nice and support to companies like Netflix or even Team Warner, which is Warner production, distribution of Hollywood, So there's no limit.
I hope to be there to see you.
I hope to too.
And what about you, Yago? 5, 10 years from now? I don't want to say 4 years from now over here.
Well, for sure, working hard. Because when we built Videona, we wanted to break the editing barrier and change the audiovisual world. And that's a very tough mission. So if we are not doing that with Videona, I will make another company, another venture to make that happen. So until I make something important in the audiovisual world, I will be working hard to make that happen.
You'll die with your boots on, huh?
Yeah.
And what about you guys?
I think, well, if in our case in Teltu that we are developing this kind of disrupting technology, I really think that in 5 years this is going to be settled down because I really believe that the way video is getting distributed right now over the internet is not the way to do it right. So I think this is going to be game changing. But at the same time, it's kind of tricky to guess where we are going to be. Maybe in 5 years, we will be just working hard on the same thing. But maybe in 10 years, since this is a market where there are huge players that are all the time acquiring companies, maybe that could be one of the exits for our company because it's quite easy to get acquired in this market. But on the other hand, even if we are still running our company, I don't know if something I like to be one of the directors of a huge company. I don't know, maybe if I see this is working, maybe somehow I will just put myself aside and try to start something new, which is what I like. So I don't know, maybe if in 10 years I just get bored of doing this thing, maybe it's something that is just working, so the company might not need my skills, so I might move to something else.
Okay. Let's give it a quick one.
Yeah, I have more or less the same point of view as Miguel. I see this is most likely going to become the standard way to deliver video on the internet. And probably in 5 years' time, if the business is going right, we'll probably, either inside the company, probably trying to do more innovative stuff. We've got an R&D department. I would like to be there doing new stuff. And that would be it. I guess people who likes to start new things get bored when things get into the efficiency business model kind of thing. So tends to happen.
I'm sure you'll be there. Okay, a really, really quick one, an advice for those who want to put up a startup.
Oh, no sé, work hard.
Be brave.
Be brave, have great team, and believe in your idea. It's very catchy, but that's the truth.
Mainly. Iago?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Believe in your idea, work hard, and find a way to have fun in the way, because it's not the end, just is the way of doing what you think.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. If you think you are working hard enough, you are wrong. You should be working harder. So in the end, that's it. It's believing what you're doing, and if you like it, you wouldn't feel that you are working too much, too hard. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with the have fun thing.
Yeah.
And the team, again, has a lot to do with it. If you are alone, you will be like this. But if you are with a good team and you have fun with them, when you are really down, the other ones be up, you can laugh about something that has been tragic. So that's good.
Well, I was going to leave a couple minutes so if somebody wanted to ask a question, but we're out of time. So we will be very happy to answer any questions over here on the stand of the RTV stand we have of Impulsa Visión around the corner. And I want to thank you very much. And I want a big round of applause for these 4 incredible, brilliant startup co-founders.